Hey guys, welcome back. I got a new video just for you guys. We will be discussing whether or not Hashirama and Madara would be able to defeat Jubi Jinchuriki Obito. In the first scenario, we will have when they were fighting each other in the war as Edos, would they be able to take him down? In the second scenario, we will have when they were fighting each other in the final valley, would they be able to take each other down? And the third, they will be fighting in their hypothetical primes for Hashirama sometime after he defeated Madara right before he gets to Jubi. Now, right off the bat, unstable Obito that we first see was blatantly faster than Edo Hashirama and faster than Tobirama, who Madara boasts that Tobirama, as much as he didn't like him, acknowledged that he was the fastest shinobi of his time. Now, we see this with Tobirama when he gets to the battlefield before Hashirama. In the anime, it's shown that Hiruzen gets there before both of them, right after Minato. It appears that they mostly arrive at the same time. Now, the reason why this is bad, because we see Hiruzen get blitzed again by unstable Jubito. Now he's able to somewhat move and kind of aim dodge, but is not able to fully dodge, but right after gets obliterated. So to be honest, they are most likely slower than Obito. But we also see is with an unstable Obito gets attacked, blocked by EMS Sasuke, who actually intercepts it. Now, Susanoo has a hole in his hand, but something to note that Susanoo does amp your speed. I'm sure precog from EMS also helped with blocking the attack. Now, throughout the battle, we blatantly see that Edo, Madara, and Hashirama were able to keep up with and are superior to Naruto and Sasuke, who were able to land attacks time and time again. Sage Naruto catches Obito off guard. KCM Naruto gets dealt with handily by Madara. Another feat of speed we see is Tobirama actually intercepts a truth-seeking orb that was literally about to blow up in Naruto and Sasuke's faces. We actually see Sasuke in the time before it blows up is able to put up his Susanoo and reach for Naruto. Also, it's important to note that the only people moving fast enough to do anything to stop this attack is Tobirama, well, and Sasuke with his Susanoo, who Madara and Hashirama should be relative to. They should be superior to Sasuke in speed. And Tobirama just straight up gives Obito the ball back and blows up in his face. He's able to block this and counterattack with a truth-seeking shield. So with speed, it's possible to keep up. Most likely, both of them needing their precog active, Madara with his EMS, and Hashirama with Sage mode. And it seems like throughout the fight, Obito just constantly just gets caught off guard. That's most likely due to the flying Raijin, but they are still able to tag him without it. Now, what are their win cons for each side? For Obito, all he has to do is hit them with a Truth Seeking Orb, and they lose. He can use the 6 Crimson Ray formation, that if he does catch them in it, they will most likely not be able to escape. They can't be grouped up together, otherwise they will get obliterated by Jubi bombs. Now for Hashirama and Madara, they are very limited in win cons. I think a good one would be for Madara to mental nerf Obito, kind of like the opposite of what Naruto did, and just get him super depressed. Talking about Rin, revealing that he was a big reason why Rin died. Now, Obito is not the guy to go angry mode. He probably would get mental nerfed. And in Naruto, that's a big deal. I mean, we literally see this with Obito because without Talk no Jutsu, Naruto and Sasuke lose that fight. I mean, the Sword of Nunaboku is literally the strength of your emotions. And another time we see this is with Konohamaru. He takes out a path of pain. And another time we see this is Sakura draws blood from Kaguya, which is absolutely ridiculous. Another possible win con is Majestic Attire Wood Golem. Wrapping his Susanoo around the Wood Golem. Now, the amp that is received from something like this is more than the sum of their parts, especially with Sage Mode on top of it. It's a deadly combo that they can use together and use Sage Amplified Jutsu, so Madara doesn't have that weakness of not being able to damage Obito. With them together, both being able to use Wood Style and the Wood Golem might honestly be even bigger amp and stronger than it was before. As mentioned before with the Susanoo, their speed should be amplified, so they should be a lot closer in speed to Jubito with their various precogs. It should be able to at least react to Obito, at least if they're on guard. Now, when we see Obito use the 6 Crimson Ray formation and was gonna blast everyone, Hashirama and Madara both have the same reaction to the jutsu while fighting, just outside the barrier. They both seem very alarmed by it. Hashirama also has the deity gates that can limit opponents' will to fight. Possibly that if Madara starts talking about Rin with this combo really quickly, they might be able to pull out some of the Jubi chakra or suppress the Jubi with the wood style. I mean, the gates held down the Ten Tails, although if Obito is not mental nerfed, then he just breaks right out of it. Like how Blind Madara did, which he's superior to. For this round, it's just too much for Madara and Hashirama. They're too nerfed, and they are Edo. They're most likely going to get blitzed and caught off guard. They would have to play it perfectly, and they would have to start off in their higher forms, both being Sage Mode and EMS or Rinnegan. While I do think they are stronger individually each over Sasuke and Naruto that fought Jubito, they don't have the backup needed or the riddle to his heart. I give it 9.5 out of 10. Obito wins. The 0.5 time is when Madara slanders Rin. Now, for the next round, we have a lot less ground to cover, as their Final Valley self should be at least a tier stronger and faster than they were as Edos, which by Tobirama's accounts brought them near full strength, but not full strength, as Edo Hashirama had nothing on Alive Madara. But one thing to note for the Edo is that yes, they are closer, they are not nearly at full strength. The nerf is the biggest for Hashirama and Madara, as they were the strongest pre-Edo. For characters like Itachi and Nagato, it's not a big deal to be slightly nerfed, as they didn't entirely rely on their strength and speed, just more on their abilities. It's something to note that Hashirama can't use the 1,000-hand Buddha when he was in Edo. The nerf was enough that stacking stage mode couldn't make up this difference. Another thing is Hashirama needed Sage Mode to use the technique pre-Edo, so Edo nerf is a very big deal. He never attempts to do it when fighting Madara or Obito, but I think this scenario would be a very big deal. Something that actually works out without being convoluted is the fact that Madara can still have the full 9 tails in this fight, because Obito only had pieces of it anyway. And with that, he will be able to use his majestic attire Susanoo. Now, Obito is still obviously stronger, still a whole tier ahead of them, but now he shouldn't be able to blitz or off guard them. But a disadvantage they will have is Madara doesn't know who Obito is, so he loses the ability to mentally nerf Obito, which is a major drawback, that it's not in their favor. Now, what's their win cons? For Obito, it's a lot easier this time, as if he does catch someone off guard, even if they are able to react, they will take serious damage. And if not, Hashirama, Madara would likely be demoted to defense for the rest of the fight, unless Hashirama can somehow possibly heal him, which I don't know if he can. Now, as much as it's pretty obvious that Madara's majestic attire Susanoo should be stronger than Naruto's and Sasuke, he will not be able to mentally nerf him. So I don't think it would be enough, even if he is so much stronger than Naruto and Sasuke, because Obito is so much stronger than him. Now, Obito might just need to catch them in the 6 Crimson Ray formation, but Hashirama seems like he knows the technique. Most likely, Madara may know it as well. With Madara's ability to see a chakra pull in a specific way, he could be able to identify the technique. but if he is able to pull a Jubi blast, it might be GG. Although it is possible that Hashirama might be able to quintuple Rashomon and catch the attack with his Thousand Hand Buddha. But like I said before, his wood style may be able to somewhat suppress the Jubi chakra, but it's still a big if. Another thing they can try is the Thousand Hand Buddha wrapped with the Susanoo with the Nine Tails as sort of an arm cannon to shoot Bijou Blast from. Genjutsu obviously won't work on Obito. He has the Rinnegan and Sharingan. Genjutsu won't do anything, especially to an opponent faster than him. So I'll give this one either an 8 in favor of Obito. They are stronger and faster, but they don't have the ability to mental nerf Obito, put up a much better fight. Now, for a hypothetical Madara and Hashirama at their peaks, post-Valley fight, Madara with his one Rinnegan Sage Mode, and a live body, perfect Susanoo wood style, but the Hashirama with his Sage Mode should be a little stronger than he was in the Final Valley, with more experience on his jutsu. What changes from the last one to this one? Well, Madara knows who Obito is, so he can mentally nerf him. He can now use Sage Mode. You might need to take it from Hashirama. The two of them would be physically similar, but also superior. Enhanced regen, with Madara being able to get limbs back from White Zetsu. Hashirama being able to heal off his wounds with his regen. If you don't like that Madara can take limbs from the White Zetsu, he might be able to just take limbs from Hashirama, to be honest. The biggest advantage in this fight is that both fighters have Sage Mode, instead of just one of them. Madara also has a Limbo clone, where he can swap out if he's in danger. But it's more or less the same, but the Obito mental nerf is very significant in this fight. I can also go over it narratively, but Madara alone planned to fight Obito, and thanks Naruto for saving him the trouble. So take it as you will, Obito still, with his Jubi Blast and TOS, still probably win the majority of these fights, but his Sage Enhanced Perfect Susanoo with Sage Mode Thousand Hand Buddha puts them within striking distance, especially if they combine into a majestic attire 1000 Hand Buddha. I give this one a 6 out of 10 in favor of Obito. He's still superior in stats, but he doesn't overwhelmingly have the advantage anymore. Don't get me wrong, Obito is still stronger and faster, but it's a lot closer. And Madara and Hashirama have a lot more room to make mistakes, rather than before. They needed to be perfect. They can be a little less perfect this time around. Basically, in all these fights, Hashirama and Madara have to be perfect, and if not, they will lose. One wrong move, and they lose. Another win con for Obito is the Infinite Tsukiyomi, but for Obito, it seems like he needed more time to activate it than how long it took for Madara. And Madara, at any point at one of these various versions, knows about the jutsu, maybe not fully knowing as he was in the Final Valley, but he did read the Uchiha Stone Tablet before his battle with Hashirama. The Edos are obviously immune to it, and I know how this video sounds like Obito downplay, but if I were to just plug my controller into Obito, he would win every fight. It would not be in character. So yeah, that's pretty much it.